This is Mike, NoStressMike.com, working on part 4 on why Americans kill. Okay, and I left off, I was talking about the corruption in government. In particular, the unqualified people that we have making laws. Now, okay, see, I got a simple mind. I try to keep my life simple, so then it's easier for me to tell right from wrong. Because when I see something wrong, I don't do it. That's one of these kind of things that one of my things. Yeah, that's my thing. And in other words, if something looks wrong, it takes me a little bit, depending on the circumstance, what it is. I might have to sleep on it, or I might be able to just look at it and say, hey, that's wrong. You know? But once there's something that's wrong, I don't do it. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I will step in to stop a wrong from happening. And like I say, that's my particular thing. That's not so much an American. But I'll tell you, in general, you're going to find that type of behavior in Americans than in any place I've ever gone to. They have those people, but it's not a general consent. In the United States, how often you ever heard about, rooting for the underdog? Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. That falls under that. But I say, we as a nation, using the Constitution, we are a nation of laws. And what is meant by that is we have to have certain guidelines for us to prosper as a whole. Okay, now, I've already mentioned the forefathers used Christian values. Okay, so they used Christian values to work a constitution. I explained how the Constitution applies to you and I, not the big government, or not big business, and sure the hell not the government. It doesn't allow for them to do things. And so what happens is I'm kind of jumping the gun on this, but one of the things is you got to use your values. And I say Christian values helps you understand the Constitution, but also you need to have morals. And I've mentioned before, I've been to places where it sure seemed like people didn't have any morals. And morals and values are kind of, a lot of times, are up to the person that's thinking about it. And that's why they want to try to put it in writing, so then you have an exact meaning to it. Now, the problem with that is there's so many exceptions. Once you start writing it down, there's so many exceptions. That's why you need values and morals to function as a successful society. Otherwise, they have to put in more laws. And like the laws are going to control the people. That was the idea. Instead of values and morals. And I mentioned I traveled all over. I don't know their laws. So only thing I go by is my values and my morals. And even in places where, like I say, they don't have those things, I can still function good. And the reason is the values will help support my morals, give me moral strength, in which that's what the Constitution, the Constitution gives me as an American. It I can't think of the word. Validates, I think something like that. That I have not only the right, but the obligation as an American, and that, like I say, it covers a lot of stuff. But you have to have the values and the morals. This is why you don't have them when you have the lawyers. Okay, look at Obama. When we're going through the Obama era, look at that. That's what happened to the United States. It just gives you a taste of what happens when you don't have no values and no morals and no constitution. Because yeah, I'm going to pick on Obama because it was Obama's administration in which, you know, he wasn't even American, so how could he understand the American thinking? So I'm sure if Obama was watching my series of videos, none of it make any sense to him at all. But like I say, you have to understand what your moral obligations are. We already know what our Constitution obligations are, but you need the morals to make that stuff work. And now to get that moral strength takes values. That's where the Christian values come in. That's why you need to understand what the Christian values mean. And we don't have, I'll tell you, I knew we had problems when we went from making laws to control we the people, in which that's not right anyway. I mean, if you are a moral society, you wouldn't need laws to control you as much as they were doing it. More and more. Where do you draw the line? I don't know, but I'm just telling you, we went past that line. And then not only we went past the line on how what we can do, then we went on and we made laws on what we have to do. What I say, we're going to stay with the same thing I've already talked about. We have to allow men and women to use the same bathroom. We have to allow men and women to marry whatever they want to marry. These people that are so confused that they don't even know if they got a pecker or not. We have to make a law to make them like us. They're not like us. If they are an American, you know if you got a Peter or you got a pussy. You know it. You don't need a damn law. Oh, man. So when we have to have a law to make us do things, man, we really got problems. And that shows you the government had no idea that the American people were upset that they would elect a non-politician, somebody like President Trump. How could that possibly happen? See, that's what I'm telling you. They have no moral guidance, no no value system that can hold any kind of water at all. And they try to point at me. I'm the American. I'm the American. And they want to say, well, he's just a lone wolf. I'll tell you, I'm the lone wolf because I'm running ahead of the pack. I've seen this shit happen. I've saw it. I've been fighting it all this time. But fighting it, not bitching and protesting and all this kind of crap. No, I've been prospering. I've been doing something with my life. That's what you call Americans. And I've said it before. People from all around the world, what they do is they fight over the crumbs. And then there's people that say, well, I want a bigger piece of the pie. I want a bigger piece. Those aren't Americans. Americans, they say, hey, a bigger piece of the pie? Hell with it. Let's make more pies. This Mike, NoStressMike.com, going to part 5 or 6, I forgot.